Let's get right into it. Number 6. The cigarette umbrella. 1954. In 1954, someone actually invented an umbrella for cigarettes. Yep, a tiny raincoat for your smoke. Picture post-war Japan. The economy's rebuilding. The streets are buzzing with businessmen in trench coats, and everyone's smoking. Cigarettes weren't just a habit. They were a lifestyle. But there was one tragic flaw. Rain. Every puff risked becoming a soggy mess. Enter Japanese inventor Tadahiro Okura, who looked at a drenched cigarette one gloomy afternoon and thought, "This needs protection." And thus, the cigarette umbrella was born. The device was hilariously practical. A tiny parasol that clipped onto your cigarette, keeping it safe from the elements. It was marketed as the modern gentleman's solution to rainy day smoking. It didn't catch on, obviously. But the idea wasn't a joke, it was innovation under pressure. In a time obsessed with convenience gadgets, Japan's inventors were throwing everything at the wall, from chopsticks with built-in fans to glasses that fed noodles into your mouth. The cigarette umbrella was just one bizarre blip in a wave of post-war creativity. Ironically, while they were protecting their cigarettes from the rain, no one thought to protect their lungs. It's a perfect snapshot of human nature. We'll invent solutions to tiny problems, while ignoring the massive ones right in front of us. Maybe the cigarette umbrella wasn't useless. Maybe it was just ahead of its time. After all, in 2025, we buy $30 smart water bottles that remind us to drink water. Number 5. The toilet roll hat, 1980s. In the 1980s, someone decided the ultimate fashion statement was wearing a roll of toilet paper on your head. And no, it wasn't a joke. It was a product. Japan in the 1980s was booming. The economy was flying high. Consumerism was wild. And novelty inventions were everywhere. Think Walkmans, robot pets, and gadgets for every imaginable problem. Amid this creative chaos, a company thought, hey, people get runny noses in public. What if we made tissues wearable? So they did. They created the toilet roll hat, literally a headband that held a small roll of toilet paper above your head, with a convenient pull-down strip whenever you needed to blow your nose. The idea wasn't satire. It was marketed seriously as a hands-free tissue dispenser. Some ads even showed commuters proudly wearing it on trains, ready for sneezes, tears, or sudden sniffles. In reality, of course, no one actually wanted to look like a walking bathroom accessory. It vanished almost instantly, but not before becoming a legend in Japan's chindogu culture. Inventions that are both ingenious and completely useless. Imagine walking into a business meeting, nodding confidently, while a roll of toilet paper slowly unravels from your forehead like some kind of hygiene halo. The toilet roll hat proves something timeless. Humans will go to absurd lengths for convenience, even if it means sacrificing all dignity in the process. And honestly, in a world where people wear AirPods to avoid human contact, maybe the toilet roll hat wasn't so crazy after all. Number 4. The Baby Mop Suit, 1990s. In the 1990s, someone looked at a crawling baby and thought, wait, that's free labor. Introducing the Baby Mop Suit, a onesie that turns your child into a living vacuum cleaner. The 90s were the golden age of wacky infomercials, when every problem, no matter how tiny, deserved a gadget. From clappers to hair volumizers, people were obsessed with life hacks before life hacks existed. Then came a Japanese company that took multitasking to the next level. Their logic? Babies crawl all day anyway. Why not make them useful? So they stitched tiny mop pads all over a baby onesie, on the arms, legs, and belly, turning tummy time into cleaning time. Officially, it was sold as a fun way to keep floors spotless while encouraging your child's movement. In reality, it was the ultimate lazy parent invention. It actually made it to stores, featured in magazines, and even inspired copycats in the US. But most parents quickly realized that babies, plus dust bunnies, hygiene nightmare. Because nothing says good parenting like using your infant as a Swiffer. It perfectly captures the 90s obsession with efficiency at all costs. We turned babies into janitors before we had smartphones to automate it for us. Still, maybe the baby mop wasn't totally wrong. Today, we strap sensors on toddlers to track their steps. Back then, we just wanted them to earn their keep. Number 3. The face exerciser, 1950s. In the 1950s, people were told they could exercise their faces into beauty. So, of course, Someone invented the face exerciser, a device that made you look like you were being attacked by invisible bees in the name of youth. The post-war 50s were obsessed with self-improvement. Slimmer bodies, tighter skin, bigger smiles. The era of perfection had begun. Magazines were filled with promises like, turn back the clock and stay young forever. Enter the face exerciser. Strange elastic contraption that wrapped around your head like a medieval torture mask. You were supposed to tug, stretch, and work out your facial muscles to prevent wrinkles. It claimed to restore vitality and strengthen facial tone. In reality, you just looked like a rubber band hostage. Behind the madness was a real belief that sagging skin came from weak facial muscles. So people thought if you trained your cheeks like biceps, you'd stay wrinkle-free. It didn't work, obviously. Dermatologists later explained that wrinkles come from sun damage and aging, not lazy cheeks. But for a while, beauty salons even offered facial fitness sessions, basically yoga for your face. It's funny, in the 1950s, people tortured their faces with rubber bands to look younger. Today, we just pay for injections that do the exact opposite: freeze our muscles. The face exerciser reminds us that the beauty industry will always find a way to sell insecurity. One vibrating gadget at a time. Maybe it's proof that we'll do anything to stop time, even if it means looking ridiculous while trying. Number 2. The baby cage, 1930s. In the 1930s, parents in big cities literally hung their babies outside their apartment windows, in metal cages. Yes, baby cages. Because apparently, fresh air was worth the risk of dropping your kid from the 5th floor. It was the Great Depression era. People lived in cramped city apartments with no yards or balconies. At the same time, doctors were promoting sunlight therapy, claiming that babies needed direct sunlight and fresh air every day to grow strong. But when you lived 10 stories up in London or New York, how exactly were you supposed to give your baby a dose of sunshine? Enter the baby cage, a wire box that attached to your window frame, like an air conditioner with a heartbeat. Patented in 1922 by a London mother named Emma Red, the baby cage promised health, safety, and convenience. Parents would put their infants inside, close the hatch, and voila, the baby dangled outside the window, basking in the breeze. It became surprisingly popular in cities like London and New York throughout the 1930s. Some neighborhoods even had baby cage clubs, where moms would chat while their children hung over traffic. Because nothing says good parenting like suspending your baby in a wire basket above a bus stop. It shows how easily good intentions, fresh air is healthy, can turn into completely insane execution. It's the same energy as modern parents who install infant saunas or cryotherapy pods. Every generation thinks they've nailed parenting, until the next one looks back and screams, "What were you thinking?" Number 1. The Revolver Camera, 1938. In 1938, someone combined 2 of humanity's favorite things: guns and cameras. The result? The Revolver Camera, a pistol that shot pictures instead of bullets. Because apparently, peace and photography both needed a trigger. The late 1930s, a world teetering between fascination with new tech and fear of war. Cameras were still luxury gadgets, and espionage was the sexy new frontier. So, naturally, someone thought, why not make photography look more dangerous? Enter the Doryu 2-16, a Japanese-made camera designed to look exactly like a revolver. You loaded film into the handle, aimed through the barrel, and pulled the trigger to take a shot. Literally. The Revolver Camera wasn't just a novelty. It was used by Japanese police for documentation and covert operations before and after World War II. It could take 16 small photos per roll, and even had a flash that attached like a muzzle flare. The idea was to let officers shoot evidence without drawing suspicion. Though, to be fair, pointing a gun-shaped object at people tends to draw a lot of suspicion. Imagine trying to explain that to a police suspect. No, don't panic. I'm just taking your picture. The Revolver Camera proves our weird human tendency to blur lines between creation and destruction. We invent tools to capture life, yet design them to look like weapons. It's poetic. In an age preparing for war, even cameras came locked and loaded. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see